Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we'll learn all about the Russ Berrie Awards, which honors New Jerseyans who make a difference in their community. We'll also hear from an East Hanover-based motivational speaker that looks to inspire kids with his journey with learning disabilities. But first, Newark Liberty International Airport recently opened its long-anticipated new Terminal A. Joining me now to give us all the details is Jean-Pierre Tibet, the Managing Director at Munich Airport U.S. Holding. Jean-Pierre, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning and thank you so much.
Well, I am so happy to have you here. I cannot wait to learn all about the beautiful new Terminal A. Tell us about it.
Well, I think it's been a major achievement for all stakeholders involved. I mean, it sets the standards in terms of world-class and quality aspects that it has, and also its New Jersey look and feel and basically the sense of place. With its approximate, how should I say, 1 million square feet and variety in the food and beverage offering, the technology, the digitalization that went into it. It's basically a unique terminal that is setting, how should I say, the standards in the U.S. domestic market, and I think it will be, you know, a project to look at, and I think I'm sure future airports will be copying us. So it's been an extremely exciting project. And I'm just happy to walk the aisles every day when I'm there and seeing the smiles on people's faces.
I'm happy to hear that the people in the airport are smiling. You normally don't hear about that too often, especially lately. But I want to go through some of the specifics you mentioned. The thing that stuck out to me the most was how Terminal A is quintessential New Jersey. You feel like you are in the Garden State. How so?
In many aspects, together with our partners, obviously the Port Authority, right from the beginning, we wanted to ensure that you don't, when you're at Terminal A, you are at Terminal A and you are in New Jersey and not at some generic location airport that is interchangeable. This is reflected in all aspects from the art, the digitalization. Basically, we have created a digital journey along the path of the passenger path as they progress from the curbside through check-in, through TSA, all the way through to the gates. And this is obviously complemented by New Jersey brands in terms of food and beverage, in terms of retail, both from, let's say, local small companies that are, let's say, Newark or Elizabeth based, all the way to, let's say, New Jersey brands that are potentially also known beyond New Jersey. So it was very, very important for us to implement that sense of place, to give it that quality aspects. When you arrive, you'll be meted by a huge NJ sign, which is, one of those Instagrammable moments. And that NJ sign, which is approximately just over 10 feet high, is put into a New Jersey map. And the planting around it depicts basically the different areas of New Jersey, be it a New Jersey shore or city or woodlands. And this is also, as I said, also reflected within the terminal itself. As you progress through the terminal, even the bathroom, the walls in the bathrooms change color from urban to woodlands to coastal.
I love everything that you just described. And I think it's so important to the branding of New Jersey that such a hub is New Jersey all over the place, every inch, every corner, because people that come in and you're from overseas, when you think Newark Airport, people think New York City, and it's not. It's its own separate place. New Jersey is its own separate thing, and us New Jerseyans don't like to be clumped with those across the river.
I fully agree with you. I mean, me being a foreigner and not having lived in New Jersey prior, I mean, I had to educate myself on what New Jersey is about, and it's tremendous how much I have learned and how diverse and how unique New Jersey is and how much it has to offer. And this is exactly what we try to also implement in the terminal. So I do feel at home whenever I walk the terminal. It is definitely something that we can, how should I say, pronounce or send out to all the users of the terminal. I mean, we have, as you exactly said, international travelers that are transferring, let's say, from a domestic flight to an international flight that will be using Terminal A. We have people from Manhattan coming down to New Jersey to New Terminal A to fly out of Terminal A. So I think part of the digital experience that we are implementing is also to educate all the people that are using the terminal on what New Jersey is about.
Exactly, exactly. Talk about some of the partners that you brought in. I know the New Jersey Hall of Fame, they were instrumental in activating a lot that what's happening in Terminal A. Who are some of the other Garden State-based people that you brought in?
Apart from, let's say, potential, how should I say, operators of food and beverage and retail, obviously the artists. We had, I have to line up approximately 27 artists, 3 pieces of signature art to depict New Jersey. So most of these artists and the photographers that we have, we have photographies on display, are all from the local community and from New Jersey. And it is our aim to carry on and work together with those companies. But in terms of also companies, contractors, subcontractors for general aspects, be it, let's say, cleaning, maintenance, we try to maintain a very high local New Jerseyan content, as assuming obviously that these companies are from the area and are capable of doing the job. But nevertheless, also in terms of the construction, transportations, everything we did, we tried to have as many local and New Jersey content as possible. And also in our workforce, we are extremely diverse. And basically, except for a few, let's say, foreigners that came from Munich, everyone else is from New Jersey.
So now that you are up and running, what's next for the airport? Are there other plans to renovate some of the other terminals? Are you going to stick around here in the Garden State? What's
Yes, we
next?
are sticking around. We have a long-term contract, and our main focus will be on the further enhancement of the Terminal A. This is just the beginning. We have to get better through time, and obviously we have to keep it, how should I say, fresh throughout the management period that we have. And we have at the moment just opened the first phase, which includes 21 gates of the total 33. So there is another 12 gates coming in the summer of 23. So our main focus now in the next month is obviously to improve the experience to the passenger, but also to take into operation the next 12 gates, which will also entail Delta moving from Terminal B to Terminal A. There are numerous other projects in the area, also at Newark, being managed by the Port Authority, and we also hope to be part of these projects.
That is so amazing. Well, congratulations. It's gorgeous. I am overdue for a vacation, so I need to book a flight so I can experience Terminal A for myself. In the meantime, though, where can people find out more?
I think on the website, there is a development website. We are the Port Authority website. We are actually creating our own website to reflect also the concessions program. So that will be also up and running shortly.
Jean-Pierre, thank you so much for coming on here today and educating our viewers about Terminal A. Have a great day.
Lisa, thank you so much for your time and for inviting me to the show. I'll be happy to greet every single passenger coming through the terminal. Thank you so much.
Jordan Toma is an East Hanover-based author and motivational speaker who has become successful by overcoming his learning disabilities. He's here with us now to tell us more. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, from one East Hanover resident to the other, I am so excited to have you on here because I think your journey and everything you've had to overcome to become such a success is beyond inspiring. And I can't wait for our viewers to learn all about it.
Yeah, so I never thought this would ever happen. I was just like, I want to help as many kids as possible. And when I got through college, which was the hardest thing for me, so going through school was like my biggest mountain. I never thought I could ever do it, and I never passed assignment ever on my own until I was 18 years old. I got accepted to a college, Centenary University, it's called now, but it was Centenary College at the time. I was denied from every college I ever applied to, and my mom begged Centenary to give me a chance because she knew I just needed someone to accept me and make me feel like I was wanted. And Centenary gave me a chance in my life to say, hey, we believe in you. We're gonna help you, but you gotta you gotta put the work in. And I was accepted to Centenary in 2008 from a summer program. The summer program was called the Step Ahead program. I had to go through the summer program, summer school, to be accepted into Centenary. And it wasn't like an easy program. It was like you got to wake up at 6 a.m., you got to go to breakfast, then you got to go to class, and then you have to go to your tutor, and you have to follow this structure that I never had. I never followed a structure, and I gave up on myself all through school because everything was hard and I struggled. And when I finally started to figure out the way that I learn, and I realized other people believed in me, just like my mom did, I started to work really hard, and I had to do things that maybe were unnecessary to everyone else, but it was necessary for me. And I realized that I had to rewrite my notes over and over again. I would stay in the library all night long and just rewrite note cards over and over and over again. Even though I wasn't getting it, I knew after like 20 times of doing it, I was going to get it. So I put all this extra work in, and I really proved it to myself that I can do this. I'll never forget the first time I ever did an assignment on my own, and I was like, I can do this. Like, I'm like a college kid now. And after I did that, I was like, you know what? There are so many kids out there all over the world that are struggling like I did, and they might not get to that moment because throughout school, you want to quit when things are hard because it's so hard. You feel so lost. And I quit on myself. I did that. And I made a promise to myself that I was going to go back and make sure every kid works really, really hard and gets to that moment that I want them to get to prove it to themselves. And when they prove it to themselves, right, that's going to be the moment they say, hey, I can do this. And it might take 18 years, it might take 19, it might take 20 years, but you got to put that effort in every single day, even when it's not working out, and you'll get to that moment. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been traveling the country, speaking at schools. I wrote a book, and it's just it's been awesome. And I've seen a lot of kids, come to me and say, hey, I have hope now, and hope is the most powerful thing in the world. So that's what I'm doing.
Like I said, your story is incredible. When was the light bulb moment for you to turn what you were able to do in college into a career and go on the speaker circuit and write a book and do all of these wonderful things?
It's like this little whisper in your head, right? Like I always wanted to do it. I wanted to help every kid that was like me. I wanted to help everyone, but I didn't know how to really do it. So when I graduated college, I had this like self-belief that I never had before. I was like, all right, I got through school. I can do anything. So I got a job with a home remodeling company, and I started selling windows door to door. And I'll never forget it. I got out of college and I went on this interview, and I was like, so do I need to write anything, or do I need to do any math? And they were like, no, you just have to ring doorbells and sell these windows. I was like, that's it? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, all right, I can do that, right? So I just ran to every single door, and I always sold the most windows, and I started to see success in my life that I'd never seen before. And I did that for a while, and then after that, I became a financial advisor. And I did that for a long time. But the hardest part about becoming a financial advisor for me was that you have to pass a lot of tests. They were really, really hard. And I almost didn't even try it because of the test. But then I said, you know what? I got to do this because it's who I become to get through this. So I did that. I became a successful financial advisor. I did that for a lot of years. And I always had this like this whisper, like, Jordan, you got to go help those kids. You got to figure this out. And I just would always think about it. And I didn't really know how to do it. And then in 2017, I started posting videos online, just little videos on Instagram. And then, I kind of fell off a little bit. I just kept posting. And then when COVID came, I had more time. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to post some more videos, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to reach out, because if I hold it in, then I won't be able to help anyone. So I started posting videos. And one morning I woke up and I had 300,000 views, and I had 1 million views, and I had 20 million views, and it just kept going, and it started just to grow from there. And then I started reaching more kids, more families, and in this process I started writing my book. So it took me 2 years to write my book. So as I was like making these videos and reaching out to all these kids, I was writing my book. I was emailing every school in the country to let me to come speak. Nobody was giving me a chance. No one knew me, so they didn't really want to let me in there, and I understood that, but I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Every publisher told me no. You know, I sent them little scripts of my book. They told me no, but I just kept writing it and I kept doing it, and then I just kept going. And I really didn't have a plan. I just showed up and went for it, and it kind of all just I figured it out along the way. There was really no light bulb moment. It was just like I have to do this.
So, how did you get the book eventually published? And what's the book called?
So the name of the book is I'm Just a Kid with an IEP. And so what happened was every publisher told me no. So I said, you know what? I got to figure out how to publish this book. So I self-published it through this company called BookBaby, and I put it on Amazon, and they put it everywhere online. And as I self-published it, it just got published in June. And that's when like I was on social media and I was talking about my book and just talking about everything that I was doing. I was growing, and my book was right there at the perfect timing. Everything just lined up, and my book now has been the top selling book on Amazon since June. It was actually the top 1,000 book on all of Amazon for a while. Now it's sitting at like top 3,000 book on all of Amazon. There's errors in it, mistakes. There's words, right? There's commas and periods. Maybe shouldn't be there, but you know, it's real. I wrote it. It's all my own words, and that's the way I wanted it to be because you know there's mistakes in this book, but we make mistakes in life, and we're nothing without our mistakes. And I wanted the kids to know that, hey, look, you know, it's a published book, but yeah, there's going to be mistakes. I did the best I can. I wrote the best I can, but your mistakes don't define you, right? Like what you do when you have those mistakes and how you overcome them define you and who you become. And that's what this book's all about, from reading it from cover to the back of the book and just everything inside it. I'm speaking to my younger self. So I'm explaining my story, but then I'm also going back and speaking to my younger self. So it's a really cool book, short chapters. Took me 2 years to write, but I put my heart and soul into it, and it's been awesome.
I know you're going nationwide with your messaging, but tell us what you're doing locally here in the Garden State.
So locally, what I've been doing since the summertime. So on Facebook, I have a subscriber hub. So a lot of they'll subscribe to my subscriber hub. And if you live within 3 hours from me, I did within 4 hours all summer. So 4 hours from me, what I did is I started delivering my book personally to kids' homes, because I wanted to show up for them. I said, hey, listen, I'm going to drive 4 hours just to bring you my book. I'm going to sign it for you, and I'm going to look you in the eyes and tell you I believe in you, but I'm going to show up for you. And the reason why I wanted to do that, because I wanted to show them, hey, I had to drive 4 hours. I could have mailed you my book, but I care about you that much, and I believe in you that much, and I'm showing up for you. But now you got to start showing up for yourself. So I did that all summer. I've delivered hundreds and hundreds of books all over New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Delaware, New York City, all over. And it was an awesome experience. I'm still doing it. I'm delivering books. I'm speaking at schools all over New Jersey. I just got back from North Dakota. So it doesn't matter where the school is at, I will get there. I had to go on a bunch of planes, drive a bunch of hours, but I will get there. But right here in New Jersey, I'm delivering books because it's more than just a book, right? It's hope, it's a message, and I want to be there to just start them off on their journey because I know they can do it.
So IEP, what does that stand for?
An IEP is an individualized educational plan. So I didn't know what that meant until after college. I had no idea what it actually meant. I just knew that I always had an IEP. I always had to go to IEP meetings. And the way I came up with the title of I'm Just a Kid with an IEP is when I was in college. I was starting to do well in college, and Centenary was like, hey, Jordan, do you want to come to the child study team luncheon? So all the child study team members from the local schools would come to the luncheon at Centenary, and they would talk to the students about their experience in school and the accommodations and how transferring from high school to college with a learning disability, you know, how did you do it? And I was sitting there, and one of the teachers asked me, said, hey, how does it feel, you know, to be in college with a learning disability? And I didn't really know how to answer that. And I just said, I don't know, I'm just a kid with an IEP. And then everyone started laughing. And then it stuck with me that, you know, I'm just a kid with an IEP. And then that's how this name was born. So it was really cool.
Jordan, you are just an incredible human being, and knowing your family, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Thank you so much for taking the time here today. Where can people find out more about you and the book and everything you got going on?
So they can find me on social media, on Instagram, Jordan Toma, or I'm Just a Kid with an IEP. They can find me on Facebook, I'm Just a Kid with an IEP LLC. Find me on TikTok, I'm Just a Kid with an IEP. If you want to book me to be a speaker at your next event, your school, your conference, you can go to my website, www.jordantoma.com. And if you want to get my book, it's available on Amazon, I'm Just a Kid with an IEP. Or you can just Google, I'm Just a Kid with an IEP, Jordan Toma.
Jordan, thank you so much. I'll see you around town.
You're welcome.
And
Thanks for having-
congratulations on your new bundle of joy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're ready.
The Russ Berry Making a Difference Awards honors New Jerseyans who make a difference in their community. Here now to tell us all about it is their spokesperson, Meredith Lee. Thank you for coming on the show, Meredith.
Thank you so much for having me.
I have heard so much about this award from over the years. I feel like you've been doing it forever. Talk to us about what makes this award so special.
Sure. Well, we have been doing it. This is the 27th year that we're in right now. And the reason the Russ Berry Making a Difference Award is so special is that it shines a light on people around New Jersey who go out every day to make a difference in their communities. They are transforming people's lives. They are changing communities for the good. And we recognize them because they're often not seen in a big way publicly. A lot of the work they do is maybe under the radar, but it's so important. And that's why the Russ Berry Making a Difference Award looks through a grassroots campaign to identify these people from every corner of our state.
Why was taking this initiative on so important to the Russ Berry family?
Sure. Well, Russ Berry started this in 1997, and we've had a chance for his family members to talk about how this came about. And they shared how, Russ would sit around the brunch table with family and friends, and he would float this idea, and people said, well, it's interesting, but how's it actually going to work? And, through different relationships, he had a partnership with Ramapo College of New Jersey that has managed this program for the Russell Berry Foundation since 1997. And, as I said, Mr. Berry really wanted to shine a light on good work. He was a CEO of a global company, and he knew that there were people who got up every day and did great things for other people. And he wanted people to know about them, and he wanted them to be rewarded.
Over the past now 27 years, are there awardees that really stick out to you as being very special?
We have 408 as of this year, last year's award ceremony, honorees every corner of the state, from young as 9 years old to people in their 90s. I can name a few of them that have been honored in recent years. One of them, Frady Reese, led a national movement that started here in New Jersey to end child marriage, which people don't necessarily think about until they're confronted with the facts that in many states, young children were able to be married in their early teens without ever giving their consent. So she's a national leader and someone who we've honored through our network. And we have honorees that are working on a very community level. One of our wonderful honorees from Camden, Pino Rodriguez, was a divorced father who learned through the courts that his children could not stay with him because they said the neighborhood was too dangerous. And he just said, I can't accept this, and went out and began a Block Supporters Initiative to change the face of that community and make it a safer and more beautiful place to live. So there's so many stories like that we could share.
Tell us about the gala coming up in May.
We have a in-person, thankfully, again this year in 2023, award ceremony on May 5th. It'll be held at Ramapo College of New Jersey, and it's for the honorees and their guests and some other special guests that are invited. The general public, people who are interested in this award, can look at the honoree profiles on our website. It will be up there on May 5th. Every person, you'll get to see their interview. You'll get to hear about the work they do and why their work is so special and why they're being honored. So our website is berryawardnj.org, and keep checking it because we'll put those names up there the first part of April, and you'll be able to see who those folks are and learn more about them.
Let's talk about your involvement in the Russ Berry Foundation.
Sure. Well, I've been here now for 6 years. And as I mentioned, that Ramapo College is the partner to the Russell Berry Foundation to implement this project. So we at Ramapo College have really just enjoyed every moment of this program. It's incredible to sit and to be able to read through the people who are nominated for the Russ Berry Making a Difference Award. Their stories are incredible. The level of commitment is just amazing. And I think anyone who's involved just kind of sits back and says, there are just so many awesome people in our state who give of themselves, give their time, their treasure, their talents, and really give their energy and passion to make a difference. So from our perspective here at the college, it's been a wonderful, wonderful addition to the work we do for the community.
Well, I can't wait to see these finalists be unveiled and invite some of them on the show, because it sounds like a jackpot of amazing stories.
Yes, every single one of them, believe me, would have a wonderful story to tell, and just inspiring in others into service, and others to really look for how they can make positive change in their community.
Well, Russ Berrie has such a legacy in toys, right? I mean, we all know Russ Berrie toys still to this day. I was telling you off camera how I collected every troll doll that they created, and you know, it resonates today, right? So it's so cool that the family is doing such great work with this legacy around New Jersey. So thank you so much for coming on the show today and telling us about it.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.